Hello guys! Back in 2024, Ukraine drove Russian Black Sea Fleet out of the Crimea. Actually very damaged, very battered Russian Black Sea Fleet. And they had to move, literally escape, to Novorossiysk, which is a port but inside the Russian Federation. I am convinced that all of the Russian warships should either stay inside the Russian Federation or move to the bottom of the Black Sea. This victory was very important. It ruined a number of Russian plans and, most importantly, saved thousands of Ukrainian lives because Russia could not use caliber missile carriers anymore in the Black Sea. But what I love is the determination of the Ukrainian armed forces to once and forever defeat and demilitarize Russia. And that is why tonight Ukrainian drones have visited a number of Russian Black Sea Fleet locations inside the Russian Federation, like Novorossiysk and Anapa. Serious explosions were heard, and according to videos available in Russian Telegram channels, more ships were damaged. This is the best way to end this war, that is, to demilitarize constant, very violent, unpredictable, and actually collapsing aggressor. So let's discuss what happened tonight in Novorossiysk, in Anapa, and other Russian regions that Putin and his population turned into a war zone. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the collapse of the Kremlin and also protect yourself against the hybrid warfare, subscribe, we discuss that on the channel. And Black Sea Fleet was one of the things Russia loved to show off on different parades. And since recently, there is literally nothing to show. One of the greatest Ukrainian victories in 2024 was driving out Russian Black Sea Fleet, or I should say differently, the remains of the Russian Black Sea Fleet to Novorossiysk. During this year, we destroyed a lot of their marine assault warships, submarines, caliber carriers, and even the headquarters of the Black Sea Fleet in Sevastopol, neutralizing a number of top generals. But actually, we ruined a number of Russian plans, only possible when they dominate in the aquatorium of the Black Sea. Starting from the blockade of Ukrainian and international trade, and actually lots of countries suffered from that, and finishing with various assault operations using ships and using various carriers for vehicles, tanks, and so on. And of course, the most evil of all aims is to constantly shell Ukraine with caliber missiles from the missile carriers, once again in the aquatorium of the Black Sea. With the help of Ukrainian armed forces, our sea drones that were developed by Ukrainian researchers and Ukrainian fighters, we've managed to totally destroy plans of the Russian army and the Black Sea Fleet itself. At the very start of the full-scale invasion, literally approximately 50 Russian ships were in the Black Sea every day. So like every day they had 50 various ships and boats in the Black Sea at the start of the full-scale invasion. And now there are days when there is none at all. And they had to move, to relocate to Novorossiysk, after Ukrainian drones, Ukrainian missiles managed to destroy air defense in Crimea, headquarters of the Black Sea Fleet, and also upgrade a lot of their warships to, scrap metal, dead submarines, and some labyrinths for Ukrainian fish. But what I love is that the plan to totally destroy Russian Black Sea Fleet continues even after their retreat to Novorossiysk. Subscribe to see more, because this is already happening. Russia is shaking and Putin's regime will collapse. Please share these videos on your social media platforms. This helps a lot. Taking into account we need to be united, whenever I read X, I feel very worried about the planet and look forward to the day when Elon Musk goes to discover Mars. So tonight, Ukrainian drones have visited Novorossiysk. There are lots of videos that very media illiterate Russian citizens share, so that Ukrainian drone operators perhaps can improve some of our visits next time. But according to the preliminary reports, serious damage was brought to some of Russian ships that were hiding there. And another visit was to a location nearby. It is Anapa. Before Putin began the project of the destruction of the Russian Empire and the Russian Federation, Anapa was a popular resort. But what I find actually very interesting is that a pipeline that brings some of Russian gas from Russia through Turkey to Europe, like Hungary that still buys Russian gas, is located close to Anapa, the part of it. And this might be a good plan, because if Russian transit of gas is totally paralyzed, and we know that all sane, freedom-loving countries had 3 years to substitute Russian gas with Norwegian, with American, with Qatar, and that's the best way to be free from Russian blackmail, constant threats, and the usage of natural resources as an instrument of blackmail. So when we paralyze all of the Russian transportation, transit of gas, and now with oil sanctions, new oil sanctions by the United States on various Russian oil refining industry complexes, but also on those countries that were backing up Russian oil industry, this can speed up the collapse of the already collapsing Russian economy. So it's interesting what will happen in the next days. And if Ukrainian drones keep visiting this territory, it may lead to some unpredictable things for the Russian ruble. By the way, let me know in the comments below, would you like a separate, more detailed video about this new US sanctions, which promise to be very, very beautiful, long awaited, much needed to destroy Russian oil industry. And a kind reminder to those who still think you are very dependent on the Russian resources, there are other countries that respect your sovereignty, that respect international law, that can sell you resources, and after the collapse of the Putin's project, potentially some changes inside the Russian Federation, the resources will remain. You can buy them not just from the Kremlin, but other republics that can somehow become independent and even sell you these products, natural resources, cheaper. Investing the money you pay them in the development of democracies seems like a beautiful plan. So I hope that in 2025 we will keep demilitarizing Russian Black Sea Fleet. You know that Russia uses now Shadow Fleet, which is another problem, a global problem for ecology, for the world order. And I'm happy to learn that more and more countries are awakening, especially in the Baltics, and are prepared to take actions. Because with bullies, with countries that want to destroy our rules that help this world to survive very turbulent 20th century, the only way is to fight back and fight stronger than they expect. Once again, back in 2024, Putin could not imagine that Ukrainian armed forces without real fleet, we were actually severely demilitarized in the 90s, will be able to drive out Russian warships, Russian boats, and not just drive out, actually destroy and sink many of them, leaving aquatorium of the Black Sea free for trade. We don't need any grain deals. We don't have Russian caliber carriers standing close to Odessa. We are protected, and the world is protected, because believe me, countries like Russia, countries like Iran, countries like North Korea do not prepare anything good for us. So our task is to be one step ahead, actually not to react, but to act ahead. And trust Ukrainians, we know what to do. I'm still in the Carpathian. If you want to see some real life updates from this beautiful Ukrainian place, subscribe to my Instagram. I share some stories there. You will find the link in the description of this video. Also, join me on X, much needed support there. Join me on Blue Sky. Our community is growing quickly and I'm very proud of that. And I'm on Threads and we have a nice Discord community. Also join. Check our merch shop for lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. But most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!